This is an introduction to the geography paper, the alternative to the coursework. So let me just give a quick overview for this paper. You should understand that this paper is 1 hour 30 minutes long. It's worth 60 marks. The whole thing is worth 60 marks. And all in all, it has 2 questions. And each question is worth 30 marks. 2 questions all in all, each worth 30 marks. So let's go on to talk about the overview here. So you should understand that this paper deals with the data handling. This paper deals with fieldwork methodology. And something called geographical inquiry. What is data handling? Well, here we are simply asking you to form hypothesis. Can you form hypothesis? Can you form hypothesis and plan an investigation? Can you also select appropriate methods for data collection? Can you talk about data collection here? Also, do you understand the sampling techniques? Do you understand the sampling? So we are talking about information and how to handle it and how to collect it. Also under data handling, we are also going to be talking about the equipment, the data collection equipment. So we're going to find questions that deal with data collection equipment, the equipment that we use. We are also going to talk about presenting data. We're also going to talk about presenting data through the diagrams, maps, and graphs. And lastly, we're going to analyze this data. We're going to analyze this data to look for patterns and trends and anomalies and everything. So let's go on to look at the methodology. Can you identify the errors and limitations? Can you identify limitations and errors in your method? Can you evaluate? Can you judge? Can you evaluate your methods and suggest improvement? Okay, let's look at the geographical inquiry part. So here we are concerned with geographical topics, geographical themes. Can you answer the questions by relating them to Can you explain in the context of geography? Can you talk about physical geography? Can you talk about human geography? Physical geography is largely concerned with rivers. Can you talk about the velocity of rivers? Can you talk about their depth? Can you talk about their width? Can you talk about their gradient and stuff? Also under physical geography, can you talk about soil and soil characteristics? Can you talk about weather data collection? Under human geography, it has to do with humans, of course. Can you talk about housing quality, where humans live? Can you talk about housing quality? Can you talk about land surveys? Humans and their environmental. Can you talk about their shopping habits? Can you talk about shopping habits? And can you talk about traffic count, pedestrian count? Rivers. Okay, so all in all, let me just recap here. Welcome to the geography alternative to coursework. The paper is 1 hour 30 minutes long, 60 marks, 2 questions all in all, each question worth 30 marks. Answer all questions. Our concerns: data handling, form hypothesis, intelligent guesses here, collect the data, talk about data collection methods, talk about sampling techniques. We're going to talk about them: random sampling, stratified sampling. Can you also talk about data collection equipment? Can you talk about presenting data? Can you talk about analyzing the data? Let's look at the fieldwork methodology. Can you identify the limitations, the problems, the shortcomings with your method? And can you identify those errors with your instrument? And can you evaluate, can you judge your methods and suggest the improvement then? Can you talk about everything in the context of geography, in the context of physical geography and human geography? So yeah, that's an introduction to this paper. So going forward, you should so this is the mantras here. You should be methodical. So for this thing here, you should be methodical in the sense that you should think here in terms of like think step by step. You should be methodical. You should be data driven in the sense that you should look for patterns and trends in your data. You should really analyze your data. So you should be methodical. You should also be critical. You should explain using geographical theories. You should judge. You should let your thinking be multi-dimensional. Learn to look at it from all directions. Yeah, learn to look at this thing from all directions. Be methodical, step by step, outline your thinking. Be data driven, look for patterns and trends in tables, in your insights. Be critical. Think in terms of geographical themes, and don't be afraid to judge information, to evaluate it. Look for errors and biases.